Okay, so today we have a video I am super excited to make. This is one of the first brand new figures I've bought in a while. The first video I did on this channel, like the channel introduction and that Carnegie Collection lot, was the first dinosaur figures I'd bought in a while. But most of the figures I bought recently have been used figures in lots. But this was the first brand new figure I bought in a while. See, it's still sealed, still's got the thing on it. And I'm super excited to add this figure to the collection. Not actually just this figure though, it actually was in a lot of two of them. So right now I'm going to go real quick into the process of getting this figure. So I have the eBay app and I buy lots off eBay. I'd actually been using my mom's eBay account to order most of my figures, but I recently just got my own personal eBay account to start buying and selling stuff just to make it easier and, cut out the middleman essentially. But now that I'm using my own, I downloaded the eBay app and I got a $10 off promotion code, and it was pretty much $10 off anything that was like literally, I think it was $10.11. So I was like, I've got to get something with that. And obviously I could have bought like a $40 lot and saved $10, but I just had the idea of wanting to pretty much get a figure for free. Because, there's a lot of figures you can buy on eBay for right around $10. So I was like, well, I'll buy something that's like $12 and only have to pay $2 on it. That's what my game plan was. And I stuck pretty well to that, actually. But at first, I wasn't sure what I wanted to get. I tried to see if there were any really cheap lots. Like, there are some lots you can actually buy of a couple figures for like $10. But there was none that really looked that good to me. So then I started looking for individual figures. And I didn't know if I wanted to get a brand new figure, like one of the more recent Safari Limited figures, or one of the older ones. But then I looked at a bunch. I looked at the Gigantoasaurus. I really like that figure. The Tyrannus, those were two of the newer Safari Limited ones. I know the Tyrannus has actually been out for a while, but those were two that I considered. But then I thought, I'm going to be getting that Albertosaurus, the new one from Safari Limited, whenever they get it, and I'm going to order it off their website. So whenever I order that one, then I can just buy those figures just to qualify for free shipping. So then I decided, well, I'll just get an older figure. So then I started looking, and one of the big benefits why I wanted an older figure too is obviously you can't really find these figures on Safari Limited's website. And then whenever I saw this figure sealed, I knew I had to get it, because this was a figure I was hunting for in lots anyways, because it's a dinosaur I really like and don't have a ton of figures of. So whenever I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a must get. And then I saw it was sealed, and for a really good price. I think I paid $15 for this. The sellers still had, they had lots of either one for like $8, two for $14, and 3 for $18. So 3 for $18 was a really good deal, but I only really wanted 2, and that qualified me for the shipping. So, I mean, not for the shipping, but for the $10 thing. So I ended up paying $5 for these 2 brand new sealed Carnegie Collection Acrocanthosauruses. And now I'm just going to go over a little information on the dinosaur itself. Acrocanthosaurus is a allosaur relative and very closely related to dinosaurs like Carcharodontosaurus, Gigantoasaurus, Mapusaurus. Those dinosaurs lived more south of where Acrocanthosaurus lived. Gigantosaurus, Mapusaurus, and also Tyrannotitan lived in South America, while Carcharodontosaurus lived in Africa. And this is a very close relative of those species. Those 3, there's that group, those 4 are more closely related to each other than to Acrocanthosaurus, but Acrocanthosaurus is still a relative to them. They all are allosaurids, and I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all Carcharodontosaurids, but the other 4 are more closely related than to Acrocanthosaurus. And some other relatives it has are Concavenator. That's the main one. It's another one that has an interesting sail. It like kind of forms a triangle. Here's a Gigantosaurus figure just for comparison. I'll get it out of the package in a little bit to show better what I mean. But it was closely related to those. Early Cretaceous apex predator of North America. One of the biggest predators to ever live in North America. Not as big as T-Rex, but it wasn't a ton smaller than T-Rex. It wasn't as big as its southern relatives, but it was a very big dinosaur. And the only thing that really distinguishes it from like dinosaurs like Gigantosaurus, obviously it's a little smaller, but also it's got a big sail that has been displayed or has been portrayed in a bunch of different ways. Some people believe it would be very muscular. Some believe it would be almost like a Spinosaurus. Not as big as Spinosaurus though, but something like that. And this dinosaur is a very popular dinosaur. I've known about this species for a long time and owned figures of it for a while. But I think this is the only figure I actually owned of this was the little one from the Safari Limited tube. I don't know if I got that from the Sue and her friends tube or the Carnivorous Dinosaurs tube, one of the two. I think I actually had two of these at one point. I think I lost one. It might be I have like just 2 or 3 big tubs of dinosaur toys in my basement, and I'm going to hunt for it and see if I can find it. But, you know, I've owned this figure for a while, so it's untelling. I might have not even owned that figure, to be honest, but I thought I had 2, but maybe I only did have the one, but I'd have known about this dinosaur for a while and have owned figures, even if it is pretty much the same figure. And like I said, it's super popular. The only thing is, it's not in a ton of documentaries. The only documentary that I recall seeing it in was Monsters Resurrected, which is... The Acrocanthosaurus episode was okay, but if you've seen the Spinosaurus episode, you will know why Monsters Resurrected is a interesting documentary for reasons. Now let's just get into the figure itself. Okay, I guess we'll kind of unbox it right here. Is there a way I can open this pretty easily while holding the camera up? I'm very sorry for the sound, because it's obviously not going to sound that... Okay, I think I can open it right here, so... I guess Giga's going to help us hold the camera up. There, Gigantoasaurus coming up clutch. Oh yeah, we got it. Okay, so here is the Acrocanthosaurus in all of its glory. I personally like this figure a lot. Obviously, there's some nostalgia to go with it because I had the Toob figure side by side. Can it stand just on... Oh, nice. It stands just on its feet. Doesn't have to have the tail. One thing that the Carnegie Collection did was have these... Oh, well, he did stand on his own for a second. It doesn't look that bad on his tail. One thing the Carnegie Collection did was give these little booklet things. And I have a bunch of the Carnegie Collection figures, but I've either lost or thrown away most of mine. And it's got a good little bit of information on it. I kind of just brushed through it. Yeah, like early Cretaceous. Dang, it's got a pretty big estimate, 13 meters. That might be right, but that seems a little long. Large carnivorous dinosaur, noted for long spines on its backbone, which protruded about a foot. In life, these spines would have been covered with skin and formed a distinct ridge along the back. Although Acrocanthosaurus was larger than its late Jurassic relative, Allosaurus, the two dinosaurs may have been very similar in the way they moved and methods of capturing prey. Only one specimen of this species of the meat eater is known, Acrocanthosaurus, named after Atoka County, Oklahoma, where its remains were found. So, good little thing. I like these things a lot that the Carnegie Collection used to do. I don't have most of mine still, but I might can find some of them eventually. But I at least have 2 of the Acrocanthosaurus ones. And I like the colors a lot on this figure. I like the dark back with the little yellow dots, and I like the dark tiger stripes. Most of the dinosaurs I draw, I do stripes. I just like stripes a lot on dinosaurs. I think it looks really good. But there is one flaw with this figure. Overall, this half of the body, good. But right here, the skull is not so good. The skull is just bad. Let's just be honest about it. I love this figure, but the skull is not great. The skull should be a lot more similar to this Gigantosaurus skull, longer and sharper instead of, well, short and blunt like the skull on this figure. And off the first fossil found of this species, I believe that the skull wasn't found, but there were fossils found after, and I believe that fossil was found before this figure was made, even though this note card said there was only one found of it. So I think they should have known what the skull looked like at this point, and based off its relatives, they probably should have had a better idea of what the skull looked like, but it was an earlier figure. I'll see what year this figure was made. It was a 2001, yeah, so I believe they should have known what the skull looked like of Acrocanthosaurus by that time, but clearly they didn't write it down. And now like I said, the Gigantoasaurus, here's it side by side with its bigger South American cousin. And like I said, the only really big and not an atomical difference is the spine. The skulls should look more similar to that, and obviously, like I said, Gigantosaurus is a bigger species. And then here's it next to the Toob figure, which makes a really good baby Acrocanthosaurus, honestly. This is one thing that Safari Limited does do a lot. A lot of their Toob figures are like just scaled down Toob figures. Obviously, this is not a 100% accurate or 100% copy. The head's more turned up, and the tail doesn't make a full turn, but you know, it's obviously very, very heavily inspired. Same color scheme and everything. Same species, everything. But there are a lot of figures Safari Limited does do that's not a complete copy. Like the collected Toob figures are complete copies of their larger species. Unless it's a species they haven't made yet. But I do really like this figure though, other than, like I said, the big skull thing. And one thing that is awesome about having two of this particular figure is, well, I'll show it right here. I guess Giga's going to have to help us hold the camera up for another time. Okay, this is what, that one right there didn't have the neck thing on, but most of the figures were like this, where the neck thing was sealed on them. But they make a really good scene, if you have two of them, a really good fighting scene. I think I saw this on the Dino Toy blog, where it's like this. The one's like knocked it over, and it's like going for the kill blow. So it makes a cool little ending scene. I'm going to take the little thing off. I'm keeping these. I'm not throwing these away like I did when I was little, but well, can I get this thing off? Oh, 1 second. Gotta get some scissors to clip the little thing. Perfect. Okay. So obviously you can do like this scene with the figures where it's one, I think that looks better actually. The one acro has knocked it out and is going for the kill blow, which makes a really cool looking scene, you know, if you were wanting to do like a diorama. Obviously though, like I said, with the Acrocanthosaurus not being a great looking figure solely due to the skull. Other than that though, great, amazing figure. And it's a really easy one to find of the Carnegie Collection. Like that Albertosaurus that I really want to get is pretty hard to find. Like I said, if somebody happens to listen on eBay for under $50, comment it down below because I will buy it off of you. But like I said, amazing figure other than that skull. I'm glad actually that I have two of them because, you know, it's not like some things where you like only want one. Dinosaur figures with like stop motion type stuff that I like doing. Plan on doing some stop motion on this channel actually in the future, but with dinosaur figures it never hurts to have two because you can obviously do like, you know, the scenes. You know, you could have these as like two parents and this is their baby, something like that. You know, there's a lot of options whenever you have more than one of a figure, but an amazing dinosaur species, and I would definitely recommend getting the figure if you like Acrocanthosaurus. And being a big fan of the Carnegie Collection, I'm glad to add this figure to the collection. So thank you all so much for watching. I plan on doing some more Prehistoric Planet type videos. I think there will be between 2 and 4 more Prehistoric Planet videos on the channel. There's for sure going to be the conclusion video. I think I'm going to have an episode ranking video. I think I'm going to redo my episode 1 because I kind of did like a different style of episode breakdown for each of the 2 through 4 episodes where I just went scene by scene, which I didn't do on the first episode reaction, and I might redo that. And there was one other thing I was thinking about doing for Prehistoric Planet, but I can't think of what it is, so I guess we'll just end it there. And I'll probably mention it in the next Prehistoric Planet video. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I'm out.